Well, here we are. We call the meeting of the RDA to order. It's July 26, 2021. And I can't quite tell who is here and who is not.
I can tell you, Jim. It's Jim Porto, Chairman, Mark Kulos, Richard, Rebecca. We have Stacy Gould here and Tucker Braddock.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everybody. All right. Well, then take a minute, everybody, and review the minutes, and we will need to approve them.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I second the motion.
From Mark, and seconded by Richard, was it?
Yes, it was.
Yep. Okay. Any discussion on that?
None.
Nothing? Okay. All in favor of accepting the minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
I think it's unanimous. Melinda, you there, Melinda?
Melinda is here.
Whoever's taking the notes.
I will tell you.
I'm here and I'm all set, Jim. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
I need to hold on.
Okay. Is there any, we do have some correspondence, don't we, Deanna?
Hold on. 1 second. Mayor, can I call you back in the middle of the meeting? All right, so the correspondence, I don't have up on the screen, but no, actually, we don't have any correspondence. That was just on there as a placeholder. No correspondence.
Oh, well, I have some then by email from Bob Buckley, which we all know by now.
Yep.
But Bob put it in the email that he would be resigning, and we are very grateful to Bob. And
I have it right here. There's the resignation letter.
Yep, and so we thank him very much for his service over these years, and he's continuing with his other duties. But anyway, moving on to the next order of business, we have old business. And Deanna, could you take over that?
Sure. I don't know where Amy is, so I can't really give you too much of an update. She just came back from vacation, so she may not be here this evening. YMCA is going to be doing some testing really soon here in the next I think within the next week or so. The city did take possession of the building on the 12th of July. So we own it now. So it makes it a lot easier to do the testing that we need to do on the site, but it's moving forward. That's my update. Mark, if you want to unmute yourself, you can.
Good. Mark, did you have a question?
Sorry, no question.
Okay. And Tucker, if you can hear me, you're muted. And so if you want me to run back over there, I can to unmute you. It got muted. So Tucker's at the City Hall. So just raise your hand when you want to vote, Tuck, because I can't hear you. All right.
Uh-oh. Okay, Tucker?
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Now that the city has taken over the YMCA, is there any other safety issues inside that building? Because I think we previously discussed that being able to go and move ahead may have involved some safety stuff in regards to flooring or ceilings or safety of personnel.
The Public Works Department is in charge of that building, Richard, and so is our police department. They have, they're not entering the building. The police department is, and the fire department's aware of it. When we take a building, we make sure that we lock it all down and it gets secured more frequently and looked at. So everybody gets on high alert once we get it, and it gets on our insurance policy for the city and those kind of things.
All right, as long as everything works fine. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, we are, as soon as we get possession, a lot of things kick in.
Okay, Richard. I'll tell you this, I would just put my 2 cents in that. Boy, that's been a long time coming. I'm very glad the city is finally doing something, and we hopefully will move forward on that pretty soon.
Absolutely. I think it's a really exciting thing for the city to have it in its possession, because now we can do the testing we need to do. We can go for the grants that we want to do for cleanup. We can then go out to request for proposals, whatever the city's direction is. We have a lot more control over what happens, and it's very vital space in our downtown. It's right at the gateway of the city. So it's good.
Yep.
I'm very excited and happy about the possession of the YMCA property.
Yeah, great. Okay, was that the only thing under old business, Deanna?
It was, yep.
Now, before we go to new business, do you think Tucker is, he shows up like muted here. Are you okay, Tucker? Can you hear us? Wave your hand. Oh, he's okay, I guess. Yep.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
muted because, and I have to run back over there to unmute them, which it's crazy. I'm trying to operate the city hall and my office. It's a
Yeah.
little crazy. So if he's okay, just
Yeah.
raise his hand to vote, or if he has any questions, I can run over there and unmute him.
Okay. All right then. Well, let's just move on to new business then, Deanna.
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Okay, so I'm going to take over here and let's talk about the request for task 22. So hold on one second. So this was a request from Michael Dunn and Associates. Hi, Deanna. I understand the city has possible funding available for phase 1 study for proposed development. I'm about to apply for approval of a self-storage facility at the assemblage of 401, 409 West Main Street and 128 Maple Street. I do in fact need a phase 1 for the project. Would love to be considered for the grant funding. The property is under agreement, will be purchased by Commerce Drive LLC or Assigns. I am sole member of the LLC and I also use the DBA of Dunn Associates. If that's easier for you, please let me know what further information you need. And Dunn Associates out of Niantic, Connecticut, Michael Dunn. So what he's asking for, these properties 401, 409, and 128 Maple Street. I'm gonna admit that person 1 second.
Okay.
So when this 401, 409, somebody that's calling in, I'm gonna mute you because they're making a lot of noise. 401, 409, and 128 Maple Street is the property that is adjacent to the old Jiffy Lube on West Main Street. So it's the Jiffy Lube and the two properties adjacent to it, which is kind of right next to the Walgreens, if you're familiar, and then there's a shopping center further back. So this Mr. Dunn has a purchase agreement in place and doing investigation on the purchase of this property for commercial use, and would like to do the city to fund a phase 1. Because it's 3 parcels and had a Jiffy Lube on it, the phase 1's a little bit more expensive than what we normally charge. It's normally been charged about $3,500, but this one is $5,500. Again, we have to get all of our projects wrapped up by September 30th. So we'd like to get this approved as soon as possible so we could move on that, please.
May I ask what our balance is right now in the grant?
Oh boy, you had to ask me off the top of my head. It would be, well, we were at like.
Let me rephrase my question.
Yeah.
Would the 5,500 be more than adequately covered by the balance left inside?
Yes, because we had about
That's
I wanna
fine.
say we had about $32,000 left after our last task order was approved. So this is another $5,500 off of that. So
All right.
we still have money to work with.
And we'll
Yeah,
still have
because-
money to be able to close out all the grant stuff at the end as well. right?
Yes, 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 yes. Yep, because that's been
Right.
taken, taken in account for. So, and this is really good because this site probably does need petroleum, which with money is really petroleum money, even though it's a phase 1, and that's because it was the Jiffy Lube, so site.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Tucker, if
Okay,
you want
any
me to go on,
other
Tucker,
question?
wait, do you want me to go on mute you?
I think Tucker might have a question.
No? Okay,
Whoop, no, he's saying no.
all right.
Okay. Go ahead, Deanna, next.
So I guess the question at this point, I'd like to get a motion so that we can move forward with a environmental site assessment of phase 1 on this for $5,500.
I would like to propose that we accept the task order 22 for the sum of $5,500.
All right, I'll
Okay.
second that. Oh.
Second by Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Perfect. Thank you very
it
much.
passed unanimous.
Great. So we're going to move on
There
to
you
the
are,
next-
Deanna.
the next
Yeah,
one.
good.
We have a request from Kathy Crees on behalf of the Park and Recs Department to look at basketball court environmental over at Jenkins Park. This is on Mechanics area. And they're asking for a phase 1. If you remember, we did do a phase 1 for the property on Providence Street for basketball courts for the Park and Rec Department. It ended up being that the city It was requested by the community to move that basketball court to a different area, not add another one out on in Taftville. And so this is a different location. Stacy, do you know more about that request or anything?
Yeah, Mechanic Street is a really popular spot to play basketball. So they want to expand the courts at Jenkins Park and leave what is in Taftville the way it is right now.
So for that reason, we need to, this is an environmental site assessment that's required to use CDBG funds to do the basketball court. So we've been asked by the Community Development Department to fund this project, which is $4,000. It's a pretty large property there for the phase 1 and to do the research about. It was also named a different, we had a different name. It's on the corner of Mechanic and what's the other road? High Street.
High,
Yep.
yeah,
High.
Mechanic and High.
Yep, so this is a request for $4,000 to fund that environmental site assessment for the basketball court.
Is there suspicion or known knowledge that this could be a problem area?
You know what, there, I think without going back to my emails, there was a question about something that might have, an old mill or something that might have been on this site before. Are you familiar with that, Stacy?
I'm not that old.
No, I didn't know if you heard, I don't know when it came down, but if you want me to search my emails, there was a question, so hold on, let me.
No. It was just a little bit of background information
No,
to go
there,
along
so I
with
think
this
there was.
as to
yeah.
why they were asking for a phase 1.
Well, they always ask for a phase 1 because they have to do it if they're going to use money from CDBG. And the city normally would pay for that. But since we have the grant money, it was asked if we could use the grant money to fund it instead of using city money
Right.
to do that or CDBG money for the $4,000.
Well, it would seem to me that since we have available funds and we have a very short-term time where those funds will expire, that this sounds like a reasonable thing to move forward on.
So we're
Sure
looking
is.
for a motion.
Okay. Do we need a motion right there,
Yeah.
Deanna? We
Yep.
do, huh, for the $4,000.
Yep.
Anybody
All
want
right,
to make
I'll-
that motion?
Yeah, Mark, I'll make the motion that we go ahead with the 4,000 for, what is that, task order
23.
23?
I'll second
I'll
the
second
motion.
it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, passes unanimous.
Great. So on the
Unanimously.
agenda next, Jim, is talking about Stacy and I were on the Stu Breyer WICH radio show on
Oh,
July
yeah.
13th. Stacy, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, Deanna made an excellent presentation looking for, sort of beating the bushes everywhere we can to spend down this petroleum money. I don't know if we got anything from it, if we got any inquiries from it, but she did a great job explaining, what the money would be used for, who's eligible for the funds. Stu asked some great questions. But did we get any interest?
Yeah, we did. As a matter of fact, the one that we got for this one on West Main Street was sort of not necessarily hearing it from the radio, but around that same time period, this came in and his attorney had heard that was on the radio and heard it. So, and then he's also asked us to consider another property for a different task order. And I have Amy looking into that because it looks as though some of the uses that occur on that site might be the responsibility of the owner. Again, if there is any potential contamination that's caused by an owner of property, we can't fund it. So that is not before you tonight. And it may be in August, but it would be a short turnaround phase 1. But the owner also declared that they don't necessarily have plans to move forward with the project. They just wanted a phase 1 done. And the intention is really to motivate people to sell or to fix their projects up and do things, not to just, give free work out without, having some true momentum moving forward with some of these improvements on these sites. So, but I do, going back to Stacey, what you were saying, there's been some inquiries, but I think it was still a great opportunity to be able to highlight some of the great work that the city is doing and what we do with grants when we get them and what the RDA is charged to do. I think it was a good way to advertise all that out to the public.
Stacy, did anyone contact you from the charter school?
So we've already talked to the charter school. Remember, we did some work for them.
Yeah, that was back then, but they're doing a little project now. They might be interested if you have, if you're looking for more people. We're trying to use up the rest of that 32 minus 9, or $23,000.
What is their project though, Jim?
They're rehabbing the thermos building,
They're rehabbing the thermos building over there.
the white,
Yeah, but we've already, you mean the part of what they wanted to make into the school? We've already looked at that. We already funded that.
Well, this is another part of that project that they just got approved for some historic money. Why don't I have the manager there call you?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to her a bunch of times, so I mean, I think that we've only done the phase 1 and phase 2 for them, and also had some other work done there. I think we've expended quite a bit of money on that project already.
Yeah.
I don't know what else that we could do for them. They now need cleanup funds is what they're looking for, I think. Not more assessment.
Okay, I'm really not sure what they're looking for, but
Yeah, they're looking for cleanup money, and they're also having some problems at the thermos over there with the garages and things that have nothing to do with any of this.
Okay.
But there's a lot of stuff going on over there. But
Okay.
I think that we've really done a great job. I'm not trying to say we shouldn't do any more, but we've spent quite a lot of money on that project, and hopefully they can take all that valuable information and move it towards getting grant funds. I actually forwarded them on a grant application recently for them to start moving forward as a nonprofit.
All righty. Sounds good. Now, roughly speaking, then there's about $23,000 left in the
Yeah,
fund,
something like that. That's about right.
and there is enough time for someone.
Really
apply.
tight, really tight. I would
Really
say
tight
that,
right now,
you know,
huh?
it's almost August and we have to have everything done by September 30th. So we're really
Right.
crunching, and that means Amy's not only has to have the work done, but all those reports done and everything and all the research. So we might be finishing this up with some money left, and
Right.
we've done a
Right.
really good job of spending almost 384,000.
Okay.
Yeah, we might almost have to have a special meeting if we have another task order.
I agree. Like I
Because,
said,
our next meeting wouldn't be till the end of August,
mhm,
30 days to complete. It wouldn't work.
no.
Yeah, just a little too tight. Okay.
If we have any, I mean, if you want to have the Independent Day School contact me, you can, but I have been in really regular contact with them. So I don't, if there was something else they needed, I think that we've already connected on that, I would think, Jim.
Okay. By the way, it's you've done a fantastic job, I think, with this, because taking as many of the funds as we can, because in the past, from what I remember, we have had several years where we've actually given a lot of money back to the state because there was no big effort to to roust out some customers, if we to use that term.
Yeah. Well,
So
thank
good
you.
job,
You guys
Deanna.
have done a great job too. And it's like, we did those approved postcards at the beginning, if you remember, that we mailed out to so many businesses. We sent those out twice. We did did lots of newspaper stories with Claire, and did some again recently. And then the Stu Breyer show with Stacy. I think that we really put us what the city's doing out there. And I think other communities haven't utilized their money the way we really have. And at the end of this, which will be really nice to look at, is what things really changed. Because remember, that was the goal of seeing things kind of move over. Well, Uncas Leap is moving forward. The 457 Laurel Hill, the CCP just approved a what's going to be called the Legion Restaurant and Bar there. And we did that assessment of the land there, and they have other future plans. The YMCA is now in the hands of the city, which will be moving forward with development. 457, I didn't mean that. I mean, the American Legion, 457 hasn't moved forward with that bar restaurant that was there in the old school, but hopefully something will happen there.
Reed and Hughes.
Reed and Hughes,
Mm.
yep, we just treated fed, gave some more money to Reed and Hughes. That's gonna hopefully move 49 Church Street. That was a huge one. That's where a brewery is gonna go, a relocation. So
That's
we really, if you checked off the boxes of how we in this RDA has promoted redevelopment by these funds, I think we could really show. It'd be great at the end to figure how much the real investment was. So if we gave, like, for an example, 49 Church Street, we spent $13,500. Well, that's millions of dollars worth of a project there that we spent, gave them just a little bit of seed money, and it made a big difference to move that project along.
Deanna, if I could ask a question, is anything moving ahead in regards to the Norwich Hospital properties?
So I was looking at that one on here. He has not had, that I know of, any recent interest in it. There was an interest for a hotel that was pre-COVID, and things are kind of stalled at that point, but a lot of money is going to be coming out for cleanup pretty soon. It's starting again. There's a lot of federal and state funds, and I'm hoping that there becomes some incentive for him to move forward and start cleaning up that site on his own, or partnering with, some of these businesses can partner with Norwich Community Development Corporation as the nonprofit and get funds. So, the thing with the owner of that particular property is that he's not in the real estate development business. He's an accountant, and it just kind of fell into his hands. So, I'm hoping that we can get that as a city, get that moving along and help him to find the right buyer for that to move it forward. And maybe he has to clean it up before he sells it. I don't know,
It'll be interesting to see, because I'm watching the Preston side has kind of died away too right now with everything. And maybe if they start moving ahead, maybe it'll incentivize the other side of the town line to move.
They just got another, not too long ago, they got another $7 million allocated, I believe, to do more environmental work there. They thought they'd had enough before, and I think they needed more. So I believe that a $7 million more was assigned to that project for cleanup. So I think we could make a good argument if Preston's getting that money for cleanup. The Norwich side needs to get some money for cleanup as well.
Right.
It's all owned by the Norwich at one point.
All right, thank you.
good. Okay, well, thank you.
The last thing was the resignation letter, which we already went over, but I'll read it just if there's public listening in that can't see the screen. To City Clerk Betsy Barrett, City Hall, Room 250 and 100 Broadway, Norwich, Connecticut. Regarding the Redevelopment Agency member resignation, dear Ms. Barrett, please accept this letter as evidence of my resignation from the Norwich Redevelopment Agency. I've appreciated the opportunity to serve my community. Unfortunately, my circumstances have changed to an extent that I can no longer devote the time to the position. Thank you, Robert R. Buckley, 18 Linden Parkway, Norwich, Connecticut. So again, I appreciate, as staff, I know you guys mentioned your appreciation. He was a wonderful, responsible member, and great to work with, and will be missed on this board. And we definitely need, if you're listening, Ms. Gould, we need some more members. We're down 3, I think, right now. So.
That's right.
Well, I will tell you that I'm going on the radio next week to talk about some of the vacancies that we have on our boards and commissions.
Good. We appreciate that.
Great.
So next week, I'm going to be talking to Stu Breyer about, where we have vacancies, how to make the application, what are some of the requirements. So hopefully we'll get some new members.
That's perfect.
Good.
So Stacy, I'll just go and let you know that I'm being retired. I have lots of time on my hands, so I'm looking for other opportunities to go and serve as well.
Well, if you go on the city's website, Richard, there are, under volunteer opportunities, you look under boards and commissions, and it will tell you where there are vacancies. So please feel free to do that and take a look and see what might interest you.
Sounds good. Thank you.
We don't have any public here tonight. There was one person that called in that I muted and they went away. So we don't have anyone from the public here for comment.
No citizen comment. Okay. Well, that brings us to adjournment. Any motions to adjourn?
I will motion that we adjourn.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, Stacy, second. Okay.
Okay.
I got to get my name in the minutes, Mark.
All
Hey,
right.
get Tucker in there. Tucker needs to make a motion.
Tucker.
Raise your hand, Tucker. Tucker
Oh,
made
he
the
caught it,
motion.
yeah. He is there.
He's the only one that hoofed it to City Hall.
I know. I know.
Oh,
I gotta
you're the
go-
only one there.
So Tucker, I'll be right over, and I'm sorry you got muted. Next time I won't mute you all. I had to because there was noise going on, and then now what happens is it makes it so that you have to unmute yourself, and Tucker's he has an iPad over there that I didn't show him how to unmute himself. So I apologize. I'll do that next time.
Okay. All right.
Motion on the floor,
we need a vote on this motion that's on the floor to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Guys,
Enjoy the rest of your vacation in Cape Cod, Jim.
Oh, Jim?
Isn't it Jim in Cape Cod?
Oh, that's next week. Right now I'm in New
Oh.
Hampshire.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, well, enjoy the rest of your time in New Hampshire
Oh,
and
I
have
feel
fun in
sorry
Cape
for you.
Cod.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you. I'll call you collect from Cape Cod.
Absolutely, anytime.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
All right,
Bye,
bye-bye.
Now, let's see. How do I get out
Leave.
of this?
Press leave.
Oh, I gotta hit it. Here it is.